Hey everybody, welcome back to Man's Advice Forum. I am the Man, and I just want to talk about why I'm so anti-college. And it's funny. I've said this before. Even though I hated high school, like I think 85 to 90% of high school, I really hated with a passion. But there was like a 10 to 15% of it that I really enjoyed. And I really remember that I enjoy spending time with my friends because they have so much to offer me, you know? And there was a lot of things that I did that if I didn't have those friends, I know I wouldn't have engaged by myself. So, for example, I had a friend who was like a really great athlete. He was really, really, you know, he was the best wrestler on the team, like made rookie of the year on his freshman year. And then he pretty much became wrestling captain like his second, third year. And he was really, really good, like really good. And I really learned a lot from that guy back then in high school. And I had another friend who was like really good at the guitar, like and because of him I picked up the guitar and that's what I talk about when I talk about like learning and growing together. Like I always think about my friends that I had back then and how much I learned from them and we grew together and how much I enjoyed their presence. And when I look at them now, I don't really feel any of that anymore. And I don't know if, I don't think just because you become a certain age, you just suddenly become closed minded and stop embracing the things that made you great, right? And that's how I feel. Like, that athlete I talked about, my mom said he saw him and she thought like he's Korean, right? She told me this when I went back home. It was like I thought he was Chinese because he gained so much weight. Now I don't know what that means, but it obviously means that he stopped taking care of himself. And that person, if I had met that person right now who just stopped taking care of himself when I was like, let's say 13 or 14, he's not going to be inspirational to my 14-year-old self, right? And that's what I mean, where it's like, yeah, in high school, it kind of sucked. In fact, it sucked a lot, but I really met people that I enjoyed being with. And there, I could count maybe like 10 people who were like that. Whereas when I went to college, and there's actually a lot of reasons to oppose college. Like, for example, if you just look at the statistics, just how expensive it is, just how bad job prospects are, just how the administrators are ripping off the students, there's a lot of reasons to be opposed to college. And there are a lot of people who'll defend it. There are a lot of people who'll defend it. But for me, personally, the reason I'm so opposed to college is because just the people there, once they enter it, they just lose pretty much their sense of work ethic and who they are, and almost just engage in groupthink. Like it's just pure groupthink. Like there's no individualism there, and people are like robots, and you just kind of they're pretty much engaged in that what you would call that leftism groupthink, and and just to see pretty much all my friends who were really inspirations to me when I was younger age turn into garbage, I guess really angered me. Like it was funny because I felt like I could not find one single person who I could consider to be a friend and who I could learn and grow with. Whereas in high school, I had a few people like that. But then these same people, once they go to college, it's like they just kind of turn into garbage. And the other thing too is they developed an ego, but their ego wasn't justified. And I don't know what else to say, but it's just the fact that I remember having close friendships with people and just seeing these friendships deteriorate just because they went to college and become completely different people, or completely the opposite of who I knew them to be, really made me oppose college. Like I don't even know what it is about the college environment that makes people the way that way, but they just became like, when they're in high school, they were really like open-minded people, and they would introduce me to ideas and we'd always laugh together. But then like in college, and I've said this before, like every time I tell a joke, they just have no sense of humor. They have no work ethic. They're very closed-minded. They have a big ego. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like I'm in the Twilight Zone. And I don't know. Like, what do I do now? Do I kill myself? Like, what? It's like it's like being in the Matrix. And I don't know if you ever watched that part where, like, in the Matrix, where Neo is waking up and he sees this Chinese restaurant, and he's like, I used to eat there. What is? And then he's like realizing that it was never real. And that's how I felt about my friendships, where it's just like, no, you guys used to be my friends. You guys were good people. But then you guys act like you were never who you were before. And then I have to ask myself, like, is this real? And I don't know. I even know, like, you have no idea how devastating it was to me just to find out that people I felt like I spent an entire lifetime with turn into, like, completely something else, and most of my old friends don't even talk to me anymore because I'm an honest person. And when you're an adult and you talk to people, like, in an honest and straight manner, if you have to make them look like, if you have to talk to people in a certain way that makes them examine their life choices, they fucking hate that, because most people want to live in a delusion. And that's not something that I can do. Like, if I have to live in a delusion, I have to think about killing myself, because I'm not being true to who I am and what I stand for. But most people have nothing to stand for, and they just want to go along to get along, right? If you were once a hardworking, strong person, athlete, smart dude, and you go to college, and college tells you, be a loser and be gluttonous and eat whatever you want and don't take care of yourself, and talk about how all the problems in your life are about racism when you lived a nice middle class life, people just kind of join the groupthink, and they don't think for themselves. They don't have a sense of who they are and their own history, and how their decisions in their life shaped the person that they become. And I felt like once I saw most people enter college, that's pretty much what they became. Like, they were not individuals anymore. They were not my friends. In fact, a lot of people that I knew, every time I sent them a message, they would just kind of not respond. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And so that's what I mean, where I just kind of felt like, did I just waste my time with, like, a lifetime with these people for, I don't know, 5-6 years, where like, and especially when you're young, it feels like a lifetime, just seeing people just not, I don't know, it really disgusted me just to see what type of people, how people turned out to be. And especially in my 30s, I don't have a single person in my life that I know in real life where it's like, wow, that guy's really inspirational to me. Wow, that guy really wants me to step up my game and be my best. I don't have any of that. But I had plenty of that when I was a teen. I know I had plenty of that when I was a teen. But when in my 30s, fuck no, I don't have any of that at all. That's why I spend most of my time alone. And I try to be the best that I can be, but I know that without other people helping me become my best, I'm not gonna reach my potential in life, which kind of sucks. And so back to my point about why I'm so opposed to college. I mean, the real main reason that I'm opposed to college, and I don't have any real, like, statistical evidence for this, is just a lot of smart people that I knew just became garbage, right? Like, you could argue, like, oh, high school is there to dumb you down during your youth. Yeah, but I knew plenty of smart people in high school. But in college, like, you have all this free time and to make something of yourself. That's how the theory works. And it's funny is if you look at the documentary No Safe Spaces, that's pretty much the college age demographic, and look at what they become, right? And look at how that I guess mentality has spread throughout the nation, right? So I hope I wasn't just blabbing on, but yeah, so this is the Haw Man here again with another video. If you have any thoughts, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.